So, I'm gonna do this video because I feel like not a lot of women that go through this talk about it. And I feel like maybe my story can help somebody not go through the same pain that I went through. February 2011, I found out I was pregnant. Later on, I found out I was pregnant with a boy, which at the moment, I was so used to having a girl that I just wanted another girl. I didn't think I was a mom for a boy type of mom. But I just was happy and blessed to have a baby boy on the way. As long as it's healthy, that's all I cared. A couple of months into the pregnancy, I was told that, the baby's growing, but something's wrong with the kidneys. We're just going to keep an eye on him and see how he grows. It happens a lot, but we can have surgery after he's born. That kind of troubled me because prior to that, I was in a bad relationship, not happy. It was just crazy. So the first couple of months, I was so depressed. I barely ate. I would force myself to eat because I was pregnant. I lost so much weight. But then I was like, you know what? I need to be strong. I need to do this. This baby deserves better. I slowly started picking myself up, trying to do better. And I remember Monday before everything happened, that Monday, going to the hospital, getting a scan, seeing the baby, being excited with everything. June 25th, 2011, I wake up not feeling good. Realizing, I feel like I'm sick. I feel like something's wrong. But I still told myself, you know what, get up, go to work. When you come home, we'll deal with it. I told myself. I spoke to my mom. I speak to her in the mornings. And she's like, Yara, if you don't feel good, go to the hospital. She's like, she always tells me, even now, any little thing you feel, no matter how stupid you think it is, rush to the hospital. I told her, Mom, I'll deal with it when I get home. All throughout work, I was fever, wasn't feeling good, dizzy. It was so many things going through me. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on with me? I get home, take a shower. I'm like, maybe I just need to take a shower and lay down. Take a shower. I get out the shower. And that's when it hit me. Something's not right. I'm in labor and I'm only 6 months. This is not okay. What's going on? I tell my sister. We rushed to the hospital. From that moment on, everything felt like a movie. It happened so fast. They rushed me to an ultrasound room, put a machine. The lady's looking, and I can see it in her face. She doesn't say much, but I can see it. I'm like, what's going on? Something's not right. They rushed me to labor and delivery. Once there again, they put a machine. She's like, there's no heartbeat. I'm like, what? Are you serious? No, that can't be true. Check again. She's like, no. They check me. I'm dilating. I'm about to have this baby. They're like, you have to deliver this baby. I'm like, you just told me there's no heartbeat. What are you? It was just so much going through my head. I remember my sister standing to my left, the nurse checking me, telling me, okay, you're gonna push, but not right now. As she's walking out the door, I just feel like pop, and the baby just pops out. She turns around screaming, calling people. They come, they do what they have to do. And I'm just like looking at this little baby, eyes closed, not moving. I just started crying nonstop, telling me, calm down, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, how is it okay? What's going on? I remember going back to the room, being medicated, try to calm me down. Waking up the next day to my birthday, thinking to myself how mad I was at God. Telling him, what did I do to deserve this? Why me? Are you punishing me? I was so mad at him. So mad. So mad at myself. Because as a woman, you feel like this is what your body's made for. You're made to carry, protect, to be a mother. How did I fail? How did I do wrong? What happened? I remember taking a shower and just crying non-stop. Going back home, they ask you before you leave the hospital, do you want to cremate the baby? Do you want an autopsy? Do you want to do a funeral? I chose to do a cremation so I can have an autopsy so I can know what happened. At least try to get some type of closure, because there were so many things running through my mind. I'm like, somebody put a curse on me. I'm like trying to find a reason is what I really wanted. Why this happened. I remember getting home and just thinking in my mind, what can I do to kill myself? What can I drink? What can I do? All I know is I didn't want to feel this pain. I didn't want to be here. I was so angry at myself. I just was thinking so many bad thoughts. And I remember not being able to be alone. There was no way my mom or my sister left me alone. It was just like everybody was taking turn. If it wasn't my mom, it was my sister, if not my father. They were just keeping an eye on me. And I'm getting even more mad because I'm like, I can't go through with what I want to plan because these people are always here. And I'm just like, I want to be left alone. I remember one day, my mother looking at me, telling me, you see the pain that you're in right now? Do you want me to go through that pain if I lose you? I think that actually woke me up a little bit. Because I was in such a bad place. Her telling me that and me feeling the same pain made me realize, you know what? I don't know why this happened to me, but I can't picture me putting my mother through that. And me realizing, you know what? Yeah, you lost a child, but you still have another child. What are you doing? Why would you want to leave so many people behind in pain? So that made me wake up a little bit and realize, you know what? Okay, let's try to figure out what happened. We go through the cremation process, and when I get the autopsy back from the doctor, they tell me, you know, what you have is a really bad infection. It's called, let me try to pronounce it right, listeriosis, which means I must have ate something that I wasn't supposed to, which caused me to get an infection. And I feel like a lot of doctors and a lot of us women as pregnant, we become so naive as far as like thinking we can eat whatever we want as much as we want because we're pregnant. And a lot of doctors don't tell you the bad side of pregnancy. You always hear the good side. Oh, you're coming to see the baby and this. But what about telling me the reality? I feel like a lot of doctors should. There's so many things that you're not allowed to eat while you're pregnant that can hurt you. So right now, if you know, if you're pregnant, your sister's pregnant, a friend's pregnant, anybody, have them do research on what you can and what you cannot do if they're not told by their doctors. Because that could have saved me. If I knew about that, like, I probably would have been more picky, more, you know, aware of what I was doing. Which I wasn't. I would eat out. I would just eat whatever I wanted. And I don't know what it was that I ate, because they say, you know, you could have been something I ate 3 months ago. It just hit me now. So that was very hard to hear, because I went back to thinking, I did this to myself. I did this to him. Was he in pain? I just started thinking so many things again. And I'm like, I wish I was told this. No one mentioned anything of this. They don't tell you. There's things you can't do, things you can do. Pregnancy is the most delicate thing ever. My struggle after that was even harder. Because this is something that only the person that goes through knows how it feels. You'll have support from everyone around you that truly loves you, but no one realizes it's not a pain that's just going to leave overnight in a year or two. It's something that you carry for the rest of your life, that you're just in so much pain. I remember crying every day for 2 years straight. Crying, still not realizing, processing what happened. I just cried. I would drink and cry. It would be so hard. I would want nothing to do. I would stay home. I didn't go out for 2 years. I wanted to just stay home, go to sleep, and cry. It wasn't until a friend of mine back then, who, I will always thank her for this. She would just be like, listen, no, get up, let's go. And she would pull me out. She would make me go places with her. She would force me to just do things so I can forget about it. She said, listen, you gotta cry, that's fine, but we're gonna get out there. You gotta live again. You just can't continue to get depressed and stay home. It's not healthy. Talk about it. I realized talking about it, someone that wants to hear, helped out. And after that happened to me, it's amazing how many women go through it. Once I posted it on my Facebook, I just started getting people that telling me their experience, telling me what they went through, that this happened to them. I started seeing support groups, and it just, not that it made me feel better, but it just made me feel like it doesn't just happen. It didn't just happen to me. There's other people. And then hearing everybody else's story, how they get through it, or like what makes it help, just helped me a lot. I always tell myself everything happened for a reason. Now, 2016, I realized God had a plan for me. It might not have been what I wanted back then, but today I realize there's a blessing in everything that happened to Ben. About maybe 3 years ago, I met love of my life, the greatest man ever. And it just so happened that he went through a similar situation in his past relationship. So that immediately connected us. We were like, wow, that's crazy. You went through something, I went through the same thing. And our desire right then and there was to have a family. We wanted a child. We decided to try to work on it, and we ended up having a child. Throughout the whole pregnancy, I was so scared. I would only cook home food. And every day, it would play in my head what happened to me. And I was just trying my best to be like, okay, it's going to be better. It's not going to happen again. It's not. And thank you, Lord. That belly right there, everything went great. Today, I am blessed to say I was blessed with another beautiful baby boy who is my angel. I have a daughter already. She is my twin. She is my bond. That little boy has no idea how much happiness he brought back into my heart. He's not a replacement whatsoever, because there's not a day that goes by that I don't remember my child that's in heaven right now. But this little boy is just like, mommy, mommy, mommy. my angel, my miracle baby. And to be blessed to have another opportunity to have another boy, I'm like, thank you, God. Because I realize now my life would be so different right now. I would have been probably still stuck in that bad relationship. I probably would have been worse. Who knows where I would be. You know, there's always, they say, at the right time, at the wrong place, wrong timing. That's how I feel. I feel like God was telling me, you weren't meant to be with that person. You weren't meant to give that person such a beautiful blessing. I have other plans for you, as he did. Because today, I'm so happy to be able to have my amazing son, and knowing that we have an angel protecting us all the time. This by far is one of the hardest things I have experienced in my life, and it changed me in so many different ways. But I can always go back and look at some of the things that I still have. I still have the pregnancy test when I found out I was pregnant. And they wrapped the baby up in this beautiful little blanket. And they give you a cute little meaning, little poem, saying how softly you tiptoed into my world, almost silent. Only a moment you stay, but what is imprinted, your footprints have left upon my heart. So I always keep that. And the little hat that he wore. And they actually took a picture of him wrapped in the blanket and the hat. And not only did I had one test, I actually took like so many tests. That I was like, what? Am I really pregnant? I have 4 pregnancy tests from that pregnancy. Amazing. I also have amazing 3D, 4D ultrasound images of him moving. So I can always look back and see, you know what? A couple of months he enjoyed being in my stomach. Because he did some really cute things in there. He would be sucking his thumb, covering his face. So these are some things that I will always have. And I get to show that to my kids in the future. I also have album of pictures when I found out it was a boy. It's a boy. And that's my baby, my angel baby. And I have all my ultrasounds. All his ultrasounds. I have his little footprints. How tiny he was. My bracelet, June 25th, 2011. Certificate. And most importantly, the picture. This is my son, who is now in heaven, watching over me. Again, if you know anyone who is pregnant, who you don't think know these things, please speak. Tell them. Ask your doctor about the things that can go wrong. Talk about it. I know it's scary to even think about it, but you have to. And if you went through something like this, talk about it. There's a lot of support groups. There's a lot of Facebook groups. It's okay to cry. 1 year later, 2 years later, 10 years later, doesn't matter when. Your feelings matter. Speak on it. And don't ever be afraid to try again. What is meant for you will be for you. This is my story.